Hello and welcome to the Power Fish Podcast. I'm Fish.
And I'm Ben. I don't know where to start this one, to be honest. I had a story. Oh, okay.
I know where to start this.
I had a story, but I lost it.
Yeah, I know where to start this. This recording almost didn't happen tonight, did it?
Ah! My PC is stupid. Or Windows or something. God! Well, this isn't a problem exclusive. Let me back up. So, audio, there was none of it. None of it. So Windows recognized that there was audio devices, and that there was audio playing through those audio devices. But there was no audio coming out of the audio devices. On a software level, everything was perfectly fine. Everything was going well, everything. On a software level, if you were deaf, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. That there wasn't no sound coming out. If you were deaf, you wouldn't be able to tell that there was no sound coming out. Is what I'm trying to say here. But I don't know what the problem was. I have a laptop there, so we both use the same audio interface. And you've come across this issue a time or two too, ain't it?
Yeah, but I always assumed it was an interface thing because I'd either update the controlling software or unplug and replug it in. And
that's what I thought too. Yeah. I thought it was something to do with the interface, but I think it's something Windows related.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me one bit. Windows 11, man. Anyway, I have a laptop there. Unplug my interface, plug it in a laptop. Perfect. Sound is coming out my earbuds and my speaker, which are both connected to the interface. 10 out of 10 worked every time. No matter how many times I rebooted my PC or unplugged or replugged in this interface to the PC, it wouldn't work. But what did solve it, I unplugged the interface, used a different cable, and plugged the interface in to a front USB-A port on the case, not the back of the motherboard, but the case, and it worked. And then it worked. But then I go back. I unplug that cable, go back to the cable that it was using before in the same port that it was using before, and it still works. Which is what's being used right now. I don't know. Because sometimes an unplug, replug, simple as that, would fix it. Sometimes. Other times, for me, an unplug, replug, restart, or just one or the other would fix it. Sometimes, not every time. This time was real bad. I was fricking with it for like an hour.
Yeah. I know. I was sitting here waiting to start the podcast for an hour. Waiting.
Yeah. It just didn't. I don't know, dude. I don't know if it's... I don't know. I don't get it. I thought it was... Well, what would make us think it's interface related is because we both had a mutual issue and we both have the same interface.
Right.
But we both also have the same a lot of things.
Right. To an extent. I mean, we have different
chipset.
The same. Yeah, we have the
CPU,
same chipset.
Graphics drivers.
Right. Different
Windows version.
Different components, but same platforms and same. Yeah. Theoretically, it could be one of those broad issues. And I think it's probably Windows personally, but
I don't know, dude. Windows fricks up a lot.
I had an issue. I don't remember the details of it, but I just had an audio issue with Windows like a week or two ago. And
what did it do this time?
Well, I don't remember. I figured it out pretty quick. It was a more simple issue, but it was just one of those things where Windows just changes your settings.
Yeah, Windows reverts and changes audio settings all the time, like for no seeming reason I can't figure out. Like, I don't get it. It just stuff just changes on Windows, and I hate it. I wish there was like mass support for every program on Linux.
Yeah,
and we wouldn't have like compatibility issues with certain software and certain games. Because I would switch. I seriously would.
I probably would too. I don't know. I've never used Linux. I'm not familiar with that software really at all. I've heard good things.
I mean, you know how Reddit is. The Linux people, they're it's a cult. As far as I can tell.
That's
On
what
Linux, you're in the cult.
that's what my friend, my friend Ryan, he's got that old MacBook. That's what it's running. Got whatever you call that.
It's got an old
He got
MacBook running
got forcibly penetrated with Linux, and
Huh.
now as a Linux guy who runs Steam and shit on this
Why?
old. What?
Why did he do that?
Well, because we wanted him to play PC games, and he didn't want to buy a PC.
Right.
So our other friend, he had this old MacBook from I think he worked at a thrift store, and they were like it was I don't know, it was like gonna throw it away or something, or it was gonna be like $5 or something. So he just took it and ended up just sitting around for a while, and then he was just like, "Oh, you want to play PC games with us? Well, I got Linux on this. You can just have this. It can run like the most basic games."
Right.
And that's what it does. We play like Lethal Company on it because that's not a very difficult game
I
to
mean,
run.
shoot, yeah, anything under the sun can play Lethal Company.
Even then, I'm sure he's only getting maybe 30 FPS probably. But
Well, remember that laptop I told you about a couple days ago? Like other than a Chromebook, it's like the lowest end Windows PC you can buy, the HP Stream.
yeah.
Yeah, back in the day when I had an HP Stream number of years ago, I think it was like my, I don't know, second or third laptop. It was an early days laptop. And what was it running? I think it was running Windows 10 I think it was Windows 10 was still pretty new and that launched with it. And I think they come with like, it had about, I think 2 gigs of RAM, or maybe it was 4 gigs, and like a Pentium dual core, dual thread processor. That was it. But so it didn't play Roblox too well. But what it did play was Dead Space 2 pretty well.
I'm
That's
not
a
familiar
weird
with it. Yeah, I don't remember I'm not really very familiar with the Dead Space series, but
Or maybe it was it might have been it might have been the first Dead Space. Regardless, it played it. Granted at like 640 by 480 with everything low. But and maybe like 20 to 30 frames, but I didn't know better. I was
stupid.
a wee lad, stupid and dumb, full of cum.
Yeah, that's what they say.
And yeah, a little piece of crap. So I mean, you can game. It ain't no matter your hardware. You can game. You can find a way, even though you might not be able to play every game.
Now
You
listen
can
to this
usually
here.
find a way.
Now listen this here. What says you to this now? What I'm about to tell you here. This now. I have been seeing a couple adverts for they come out on the advert and they say, low price point gaming laptop, and they're like, this is great, and then they go over the specs right on these like YouTube shorts or TikToks or whatever. And what it is a very, very basic. It's essentially like a Chromebook kind of guy. But what they're saying is they're a gaming laptop because of cloud streaming.
Oh no!
What says you to that? Because it can play games now.
Yeah, so can anything.
So can a potato.
If that's what they're classifying as gaming laptop, then all laptops are a gaming laptop, therefore making the gaming label completely meaningless.
Right.
Yeah,
I
so
agree.
that's stupid. It's
I
just
would
marketing BS.
Because it was like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was at a price point like $200 new.
Yeah, like a
something.
web browsing laptop. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a gaming laptop. You can play all the best games on it. Streaming. And streaming's good now. And you know what? I will say, I've tried streaming like on my phone because you can stream like AAA games to your phone if you have Game Pass.
Yeah.
And I think GeForce Now, and there's a PlayStation 1 as well. And I've tried it. And you know what? It's not too bad. And I was playing on like.
I mean, Stadia failed,
Yeah.
but
Like, I'm just saying, like, I was playing on cellular service. If you got hooked up with like, I don't like good internet, especially, shit, I mean, you could probably cloud game pretty efficiently, I'd say.
yeah.
I don't-
I mean, but what are you playing on your phone that's on your computer? Well, are you? I'm assuming like you're streaming your phone to a computer, right?
No, so like the way that's how it is for like Steam Link. So like Steam
Well,
Link, you turn
yeah.
on your computer and then your computer runs the game and sends it to the phone. So like the Xbox One actually it's just all housed on their own servers. So you don't actually need your computer on for that.
So you
or your
just
console.
slap the controller to Bluetooth
Yeah,
on your
get
phone
it.
and then just gamed.
Yeah, you get yourself most of the games like you can play Battlefield on there, Battlefield 2042. You need a controller for that. I haven't tried that because I didn't have a controller where I was. But there are also games on there that are optimized for touch. So they're like AAA games that have touch controls on the cloud interface.
Like what?
Which is
Surely they're not going to be very complex games.
well, I mean, I don't remember all of them. There were several. I remember there were several Assassin's Creed games.
Okay, yeah.
It was one of the older
Like
ones,
single
but
player.
yeah, I mean the new Slime Rancher, yeah,
Yeah,
was on there. Now that's not a fast paced
No.
shooter, but you know,
I mean,
And
I say surely not no complex games, but I say that having just reconsidered because COD Mobile is as complex as COD, not mobile, and it's on mobile. So I guess you could, if you have a well-designed mobile touch interface, you can do just about anything.
now I'll tell you personally, I don't like touch interfaces
Me
that
neither.
are trying to simulate a game bad. I'm not into that. Now, if it's like a mobile game that's designed to be a mobile game from the ground up, and its controls are integrated into the game, and there's no like on-screen overlay kind of situation, then that's fine.
Well,
But
yeah.
if it's like you got the circle over here where it simulates a joystick and then A B buttons or whatever, nah.
I'm just not a fan of touch controls in general. Now, there's also this. I'm looking at it right now. COD Mobile used to have its BR mode, Battle Royale mode, which effectively
Yeah.
was... I mean, it was pretty fun.
But you and I played that quite a bit. I liked it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. We played it a couple years back. But now, I'm looking here, they just straight up have a Call of Duty Warzone mobile, which is a separate game entirely. So I honestly doubt they still have that BR mode baked into COD Mobile. I wonder if they still have zombies on Call of Duty Mobile.
They do. I tried it. It's kind of shit. I didn't
Why?
like it at all. Well, I didn't spend much time in it, to be fair. There's only one map. I believe it's Shinonuma. And
Okay.
it is, as you can imagine, the graphics and textures are absolute garbage.
Right. Being
And
mobile.
it's not a one-to-one experience. There is like currency and level up bullshit that you'd find on a mobile game. It's not you don't just get to play zombies. You do, but it's like I don't know. There's weird stuff about it that's just different. And I was playing it and I was like, because this is where I was like thinking like, oh, I have all this downtime while I'm out and about or at work or whatever. I was like, I'd love to have something like a Blops experience, mobile. And I was like, well, why don't I just try COD Mobile Zombies? And there's one map and it's not the same. So that was really
It's kind of
disappointing.
disappointing.
Now
'Cause I know- Go ahead.
there used to be a Call of Duty Zombies mobile game. Do you know about this? Did I tell you about this?
I told you about this actually.
I learned about this online, so that's not true. But maybe. Anyway, so
Well, I swear to you, that's the second time you've learned it because you and I talked about this on a podcast, and I introduced you to a COD Mobile game.
is it the one that's not anymore? That one?
Yeah, it hasn't been for years.
Well, you learn something twice every day. Anyway, so so yeah, that one seemed really cool. It was also shitified textures and everything. It also came out in what, like 20?
Oh my gosh, dude! I remember it when I had my iPod Touch. That's what we were talking about. It had Kino, it had I think Ascension, and a couple others, but Kino's the one I remember most notably. Yeah. But yeah, it was a Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies is what it was called on mobile. And it was sick. And it was just straight up zombies on mobile. Just rounds, going through the rounds. It's not like, I guess, whatever you described that COD Mobile Zombies is now. But yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. And you used to be able to sideload it as an APK to Androids. But I think since like Android 12 or something like that, it's been broken. Right. So
yeah, that's the way, and it frustrates me. That's the way with so many old APKs.
I know
you can't do most things anymore. There's so many applications that have not been optimized for newer versions of Android, and they're just broken.
Yeah, they just don't get. Whoever makes the APKs just doesn't update them for new Android versions.
And to be fair, it's bullshit that Android doesn't have backwards compatibility. That seems like something that they could do.
I guarantee that they could, but backwards compatibility for like what? A couple thousand people? Who's going to be using that?
I just mean like applications that, for just blanket, any application that has not updated to the newest version of Android to be able to run in some way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a compatibility mode. But why would they invest the development time into baking a compatibility mode into Android when 99+% of users would never see would never use that or even know it existed?
They should do it because it's pro-consumer and it would make me personally happy.
Okay. Y'all send them an email. Send Google an email.
And you know why else they should do it? Because it's Google and it's a multi-billion-dollar company. And they should just do it. They should invest a literal fraction of their work power to do something that would make me happy.
They could build a new office space and hire people specifically for this with all six-figure salaries for 3 years to develop this and not even notice that the money's gone.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't care if it's not practical. It needs to happen. That's what I'm saying. But no, I've absolutely run into that. Exactly.
Yeah. The only time I've run into that is when I tried to sideload Black Ops Zombies onto the phone. It wasn't compatible.
Now, to Google's defense of why they're not doing it, the only times I've run into that is when I'm trying to sail the seven seas piracy. So, I mean, maybe maybe there's a reason they don't want to support my antics. But other than that, it would make me personally very, very happy.
Yeah, Apple. Up until Android or iOS 18. What's the newest one? 18.
The fuck if I know? I think it's 18.
I think up until iOS 18, which is the best iOS update in years since they added a lot of things due to pressure from the DOJ.
Oh, is some of that shit coming out now?
Yeah. 18 is where RCS support comes through. Side loading support comes through. That's where I was going with this, is Apple tried to pretend that they didn't want to allow side loading because it's less secure and viruses and your data, and we care about privacy bullshit. But now that the DOJ has sued them and is actually cracking down on companies as of the last like 6 months. They're finally added side loading and RCS, and I'm pretty sure a couple of other not anti-consumer things like they've been doing for the past existence.
How do you think, I don't know if you've seen, but this is my question. How do you think they spun that? Because they've been saying forever, we don't want to do that for your privacy. And then now that they have to do it, how do they spin it to be like, this is for you, make you happy?
Well, it's not, they don't have to say anything. It's not something that has to even be mentioned.
It doesn't have to be. I just would assume the Apple way would be to spin it in a way that they're doing this for you. Because didn't they do that? They did that with the headphone jack or something, right? I remember hearing something about like, not only we're not getting rid of this just because we're getting rid of this. Like, it's really for you and for...
Yeah, they said bigger battery and stuff like that, which was proven false due to people DIYing headphone jacks on the iPhone 7. So they could have done it.
Yeah.
Like Apple, and honestly any company, just straight up making things up is nothing new. Like the Lightning connector and the European Union forcing to transition.
Yeah, that was
to
the other
USB-C.
one I was thinking of.
They were saying we don't want to go to USB Type C because the environment. They said their excuse was all the Lightning cables that are out there right now are going to turn into e-waste, and that's bad for the environment. And that's like such a one-dimensional point of view, because unless they're going to stick with Lightning for the end of time, the Lightning connectors are only going to keep piling up, and there's going to be even more of them when they do eventually switch off of Lightning. The connector that was outdated 4 years ago. So they and then obviously when they released the iPhone 15 with Type C or 14 with Type C, I think it was 14.
14 Pro, wasn't it? Or no.
No, it was the whole lineup. It wasn't just Pros. The 14s came out with the Dynamic Island, but I don't know if they released USB-C alongside that.
Yeah, 14 was Dynamic Island on the Pro, not on the regular, and then 15. I think it was either 14 or 15 that came out with blanket USB-C, but I want to say it was 15.
You might be right. It might have been
15. I think that's right. Either way, I mean, yeah. What
regardless,
we're talking about that's something all companies do.
Right. Regardless, the Type C implementation was them. I mean, spinning it how Apple spins it, saying that this is the next revolutionary jump in their phones, which they in the Pro models, the Type C port on the non-Pro models was still USB 2.0, which basically was the speed of Lightning. So like,
right,
that was worthless. But well, it wasn't worthless because Type C is still compatibility heaven. But the Pros are the only ones that got, I think, USB 3.0 speeds.
Now, listen here now to me when I say, let me give you some more updates on iOS 18, because this is actually really interesting to me. So, not only does it have dark icons, dark mode.
Oh yeah, that was another
icons.
Thing. That more customizability on the home screen. You can place an app anywhere now.
Yep, and that was the other thing I was going to say. You can place an app anywhere, which is that was like one of the biggest issues I had with iOS.
Yeah,
because it's just so it just seems stupid to me. Like to just not have. I mean, it's fine if people want to just have everything arranged normally, but like to me, it feels so locked in. With the Apple way.
If you happen to be right-handed and use the phone with your right hand and have your thumb on the bottom right hand of your screen, you might want your apps there, but you can't or couldn't.
Yeah, no. I mean, on my phone,
so stupid.
I have an S23 Ultra, and that fricker's big. So you know what? I keep most of my apps at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I literally only have the bottom 3 rows of my screen apps.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get my second hand involved to tap something on the top of the screen.
That second hand is busy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
but
good
no,
for them. That's
and they
I'm
they
happy.
introduced that feature as this. Yeah. You know how Apple is. It's so stupid.
You know what I have to say to this? Apple users are becoming less and less basic by the minute.
Yeah, call out all of them again. No, yeah, but no, that's what I'm saying. iOS 18 has been the best iOS update in a long time. iPhones are getting.
Yeah.
It's not even the iPhone that's getting better. It's just the software after 18. It's getting a lot better. You know, maybe I wouldn't mind trying it again after that. I don't know. I won't. But
Maybe
I think
will.
I would.
I won't.
I think I wouldn't mind it near as much as I did when we were on like 16 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I was just thinking about
it's
this.
gotten a lot better.
I was just thinking about this earlier today. It would take, I think it would take not only huge improvements, even still from Apple for me to switch over, it would also take the downfall of Android for me to switch back over, I think. Like Android just doing some really stupid shit.
Android
which they
would
do
have
some
to-
stupid
yeah.
shit, but
Android would have to release a botch of an Android version.
yeah.
And Apple would have to, I don't know. I think iOS, like I said, after 18, I think it's a lot better than when I used it, but still not enough for me to want to switch off of Android.
I think the only like major issue that I have with Android that would ever even remotely make me think about switching back is just that the availability of Apple accessories is ridiculous.
Oh, it's ubiquitous.
Now it's gotten a lot better because of USB-C. You know,
A lot of Apple accessories are working with other phones now.
right?
Because of
But
that.
I mean, if you just want to walk into a store and get a phone case, as an example,
Oh, for an Android user, it's impossible.
right? But I mean, that's just a small nitpick. It's infuriating. I go into a tech aisle and it's like, you know, here's all the accessories for phones, and 95% of it is just Apple exclusive compatible accessories, and then they get like, you got a little dongle or something for Android.
Yeah, that's never been a problem for me because 99% of what I get is online anyway. But
Right, that's fair.
and even a lot of cases anymore for Androids have MagSafe in them.
I need to get one of those. That's what I've been looking for. I know you can
D-brand
get 'em.
D-brand makes a really good MagSafe case. I have a mouse. Mine's pretty good.
Because
But-
I hate doing the fiddles with the little clamp like mounts and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, the tripod that my phone's on has that. It's one of those clamp style. Gotta push it up.
Oh, the clamps. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought a magnetic car holder for my phone, and just with the case, it sticks on there just because of the MagSafe-ness of the case, but not as, I don't know, it's just not as secure as much as I would like. But it comes with the accessory came with magnets that you can just slap. They're designed to be adhered to the back of your phone, but
Yeah.
because I didn't want to adhere anything to the back of my phone, I just put it in between my phone and my case and let it sit there. And that works pretty well.
I just got a wave of exhaustion that just hit me like a minute and a half ago. I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know.
Is you bedtime?
It might fucking be. I don't know.
Dude,
I went to bed late last night. Late as frick.
Well, I seen when I popped into Roblox Studio just for a little bit nearing my bedtime last night, and you were on Multiverses still.
Yeah.
You know something revolutionary that happened to me last night?
What could possibly happen to you late at night that's revolutionary?
I slept without a pillow
Why?
because the pillow that I've been using shoves my head so far forward. It's like it's so thick, tall, and I hated it. And every day I would wake up with like I've always had that like gamer posture, you know? And that pillow just made it 100 times worse. And every time I'd wake up, my traps would be so tight and my neck would be so tight and I'd have to like just shove everything back to even look like a remotely person that's ever touched grass in their life. So I slept without a pillow and it was crazy. I woke up with like my neck straight in line with my shoulders and torso for once. It was crazy.
You know what that tells me immediately?
What?
You need a new pillow.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you could just not sleep with a pillow, but
Dude, I
don't know.
I'm gonna keep trying that. I'm gonna do it again tonight. I liked no pillow mode. That was
No
crazy.
pillow mode.
Yeah, dude, waking up feeling like my neck and traps and shoulders didn't need to be stretched out like a freaking ripcord. It was great. And not feeling like my posture was destroyed every time I wake up. I don't know. I'm gonna try it again tonight. I'll report back.
I couldn't do no pillow. There's something about that. That's like sleeping without a blanket for me. I can't do it.
Now, here's the thing. Let me tell you something about last night that happened to me that was revolutionary.
Tell me again.
So I slept without a blanket.
Now, why'd you done that?
Now, I didn't make it through the whole night without the blanket. But reason being is because you hear, you know, some people are just like good in the cold.
Yeah.
They can just like walk out on a 40-degree day and like not need a jacket or coat until it's like freezing or below. There's some people that are just like
people.
that. Yeah, you're one of those people for sure. So that is one due to fat stores, but specifically brown fat stores. That's the insulation fat. And
yeah. That's that good shit.
yeah, that's that good fat. Is that brown fat. And there's an experiment done. Some people slept with no blanket. I think it was in 65 degrees. I think it was 65, might have been 60 for a week. And their brown fat levels went way up. Their body composition didn't really change. But their brown fat stores went way up. And after literally a week, they, like, not only does brown fat make you more resistant to the cold, but just extreme weather in general. So, like, you're more resistant to heat, too. It's like wool. It's a temperature regulator, not like an insulation material.
Sure. Makes sense.
So, like, more brown fat, better.
So you're trying to get some brown fat.
That's right. I tried it. Now, there's other ways to get this. I think the study went further and said that if you just leave your house at like 65 or something slightly below what is comfortable, and then just keep whittling it down over time, that's a much more pleasant way to do it than sleeping blanketless for a week in 60 degrees. But I think other people have said that they can get it from like daily ice baths for like a minute or two, which I don't have one of those, and that's also pretty. That's willpower.
You don't have a bath? You don't have a tub?
Well, yeah, I guess Yeah, I do have a tub, but
Yeah, you could
I guess
ice
I
tub
could,
in a
yeah.
bathtub.
But every day, I wouldn't want to get ice and do that. I don't know. The setup is just kind of. I wouldn't want to do it every day.
I struggle enough with cold showers. I can't.
There's another thing. That's what I've been transitioning into the last couple weeks. Is I'm to the point, and I think I've noticed this. I think I've noticed this might be placebo, but for the last few weeks, I've been making my showers colder and colder, and I'm to the point where one just from off 1/4 turn of the heat and then all the way cold is what I take showers at now. So
That'd be
like
pretty cold.
just a touch of the hot water, and I'm pretty comfortable in that now. And I've done some full on colds. That's just past the point of bearability. So like that quarter turn difference, that's a big difference. So like it's pretty cold the way it is right now, but it's not as cold as it could be. So I think I've noticed that the heat doesn't feel as hot. Like it just doesn't feel, like I said, this might be placebo, but over the last week or two, like today was a pretty hot day, and it's not that I like stop sweating, because I don't, but it just doesn't feel like it's not, the heat wasn't something I was thinking about anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas before the heat literally felt like it was heavy. And it just felt like everything else was heavy. This time, not so much anymore. And like I said, it might be placebo. I might be just talking out of my ass. But this whole brown fat thing might be a thing. So yeah, I tried sleeping without a blanket last night, and I got about half the night, and I was shivering. So I pulled it back up. But
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say no to that. I don't want to not sleep with a blanket now. But I keep my room pretty cold though when I sleep. Anyway, it's pretty cold in there.
I think most people, well, low temperature environment when you sleep is the natural sleep state. Your
Right.
body has to drop in temperature for it to fall asleep.
Right.
That's why taking such hot showers. I mean, we talked about this in a previous podcast. Taking hot showers causes your body to, holy crap, I'm really hot. I'm gonna cool myself down. And then when you get out of the shower, your body's really, really working to cool itself down. And now you're ready for bed because your body temperature is really cool after a really hot shower.
Yeah, and if you're taking a hot shower first thing in the morning before you go to work, that's a problem.
Right. So I'll be taking cold showers.
Exactly. I will say, experimented a little bit with cooler showers, because not from a thing of like I want to build up my tolerance, but more of like I know that there are negative effects of really, really hot showers. And I've just like, tried to limit how hot the showers get, which is good.
I mean,
think
how hot are you getting your showers?
I mean, not me, but some people do that.
Yeah, my roommate.
Yeah, and also
There's
and
barely
my
any
girlfriend.
cold
It's
at all.
It's women. Women do that.
Yeah.
To make a generalization that people will be offended by, women do that, and it's just like you could boil goddamn noodles in that water if you
Right.
really tried.
If a woman is taking a shower and you have spaghetti, if you squeeze it too hard, it'll crack and be brittle. If you walk into that shower, you're gonna be coming out slurping some noodles. That's crazy how that does that.
Yeah,
I've done it
physics
before.
right there. Yeah, that's my first experience I've got.
Yeah. So like,
But yeah, no, I try
I mean,
to limit.
what kind
I
of
try to limit the
damage?
heat.
Like what, hair follicle damage or something? What's gonna happen from that?
Well, I mean, now you're asking me to act upon what I've said. I remember, this is what happens. I read something and then I just assume it's gospel. And then I remember hearing something about like skin. And if you expose your skin to that much hot water, it like dries your skin out.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that before.
Is what
Dry
I've heard.
skin.
And I already have an issue with dry skin, like not like in my hair follicles, but just in general on my arms and face and stuff. So like I don't need any more of that.
You know what? You just saying that caused me to just realize something. I have really, really dry shoulders, specifically shoulders. Every time I would get out of the shower, my shoulders would be like really dry.
Yeah.
And I would lotion them. But you know, after you mentioning that, and after me saying I've been taking cold showers last couple weeks, they haven't been. So I think there's probably something to that. I didn't notice that until now. I bet you there's something to that.
Exactly. It makes sense. I mean, hot, heat, steam, maybe it might not even be the water. It's like the steam kind of like soaks
Pulling
into
moisture from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Something to it maybe or not.
Yeah, we're doing a whole lot of speculation. And none of this, there might be nothing happening to either one of us. And or it's just placebo. But yeah, I am strictly taking cold showers for entirely performance reasons. Not because I feel like I mean, what the hell other reason would you take a cold shower? I don't know.
Other than to see if your body can take it.
Yeah, a challenge, I guess.
But I mean,
it surely
I'll tell you what.
It ain't more comfortable, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm not doing that for performance reasons because I don't work in a job anymore that requires performance. All I got to do is walk around a little bit.
Yeah, you got that AC all day.
I got that AC. I'll tell you what, though. In these days that it is hot, walking to and from the building in my in
your full setup, your full formal get up.
And my dress shoes, my slacks, my button tucked in, all that bullshit.
That would start some perspiration pretty damn quick.
It's hot. It's hot. That's what I'm saying.
Walking from point A to point B would, yeah. I'll tell you, those FedEx polos aren't worth a damn for air circulation.
I still got mine. I've worn it a couple times just as like a lounge shirt. And it's I'm pretty sure FedEx gives the contractors whatever the cheapest supplier they could find was, because they're not good. Yeah, that's what I've been doing is sweating my ass off when I go to work. Now I have been thinking about getting, how I had that e-bike, that electric motorized bicycle. Mm-hmm. I still got it. It's at my parents' house, and I need to find the charger for the battery. I don't know where that ended up.
Does it function without it? The battery?
I could pedal it.
So
I guess.
Is it a normal bike without the battery is what I'm asking?
Yeah, should be.
Okay.
I've never tried doing that, but you can, like, while you're
really
riding,
know how they work. I'm sure I don't see why not.
Well, like, so the bike there is no like throttle. You can't just like you say go and it goes without me having any input. You have to be pedaling. It's a pedal assist. So, yeah, you could in theory just disable.
So it's not a motorbike.
No.
Okay.
No, you gotta be working. Now, granted, it's for how little I paid for it. It's honestly kind of get up and go, but it's low, medium, high assist, and you just start pedaling, and it just kind of takes your pedal input and expands upon it. I guess would be a good way to put that. But yeah, no, in theory, you could take the battery out or just turn off the battery. But the only problem with that is now you've got a really heavy bike.
Yeah, I bet you it wouldn't. As far as bike standards go, it probably wouldn't be a very good bike, batteryless.
No, it would just be heavy as frick. But that's why you go on motor. But what I've been thinking about doing is getting that bike over to my new house and biking to work, because we live right by the trail that goes. It would take me from where we are uptown to where my work is, pretty close to it. I could just take the bike trail.
Yeah,
be nice and scenic. However, I'd have to bring like a change of clothes or something because I'm not biking in goddamn dress clothes. No, screw that.
Not in this heat.
Not in this heat. Maybe if it got like if it was not super snowy, so I could still ride the bike, but it was cool enough that I could do. Maybe that might be something. But I'm not doing all that other stuff. The only other problem is, I usually leave work around 7:00 in the evening, and come in a couple months now, a couple weeks even probably, it's gonna start getting.
It's gonna get dark past 7.
I mean, shoot,
it's 7:40 right now, and
how dark is it?
The sun is down. It's not dark, but yeah. So like,
I'd have to get a
in
little
the dark. You'd be.
I'd have to get a little light on that thing.
Oh, surely there's attachment. I mean,
actually, I think I already have a
there's
light for it. Got a little like battery operated little push light on it. But yeah, I was thinking about doing that. That's some good, easy exercise in the morning. Get out, smell the air, you know?
Yeah.
Smell
I mean,
air, touch grass.
Andrew Huberman always be talking about sunlight and how good that is for you.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of it. I walk to and from my car, and then from my house, and then from my car to work, and then from work to my car and car to my house.
I mean, that's the American dream, though, ain't it?
Yeah. That's my sun access moments of the day.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of sun in the last year.
Yeah, you've been getting sun and a half, I'd say.
But also heat and a half.
Also heat and 3/4 probably. Yeah, no, I was getting sun while I was working there too, and you know what? I got tan real quick.
It happens quick.
I was getting really tan. I was like dark skinned. I was wearing a watch. The change between the color of my skin on my arm and then where my watch is at on my arm.
The watch tan line is bad. It's real bad. The farmer's tan is also pretty bad.
Yeah, I do remember the farmer's tan being bad. I mean, I still just even just from the little sun I do get, I still have a bit of a watch tan, but it's nothing like it was at FedEx. It was night and day difference, literally.
I mean, you're not even outside the whole time. You're in your truck half the time, and it's still you get it freaking fast.
Yeah. I still have on the topic of tanning. So I would wear obviously wear shorts out to work at FedEx. And for so long, because of my ankle, check out the episode where we talk about my sprained ankle story. Mm-hmm. I was sitting in the truck for so long that the area on my right knee that was exposed to the sun on the passenger side is still darker colored than the rest of my leg.
That's an odd one.
Specifically, that one area of the side of my knee on my right knee is darker than the rest of my body, pretty much.
That's pretty funny. Yeah,
exactly.
I find a good tan woman can take me away any day of the week.
I was wondering where that was going.
Yeah. A good, I think mixed is my favorite color.
Are we talking... Are you talking in between pale and tan, or are you talking about mixed ethnicity right now? What are we talking about?
Ethnicity. Or just really tan.
It's a fine line between those two. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they're kind of close.
Well, sick. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Side note:
if you're a tan woman, hit them up in the comments below.
That's right. We might get a view, and if you're that one view, hit me up in the comments.
All right. If we get any views at all, and if that view is a tan woman, and if that tan woman is interested in you, let us know.
This is like, so you know how they narrowed down the existence of otherworldly life? It's like
expound. What do you mean by that?
So all these prerequisites have to be true to consider extraterrestrial life. The first one is there has to be another. Well, I can't remember the whole narrow down process, but there's like 20 of these factors that have to be true
Yeah.
to consider alien life existing, and the only factor that we know and can measure is like the first one. And the other 19 are like immeasurable to our abilities today and impossible to like really know if they're going to happen or not. That's the amount of factors of that have to happen for mixed or really tan as frick and watching this. That's the most unlikely. And then it has interest in me. Hit me up.
Also incredibly unlikely.
We started with a super narrow pool, narrowed it to nearly indefinitely small, and then eliminated it with the last factor. So,
well, now you've just outlined the beauty of a dating app.
oh my God,
put in your parameters.
Yeah, what is it, like 7-1 men to women?
Something
on dating
crazy
apps
like that.
It's insane.
Yeah, but all you got to do is go on there and say, it's going to ask you, what do you want to fuck? And then you tell them, and then they go, here's a list of probably rejections.
That's the words. I think that's the exact verbiage that every one of the dating apps use, in fact.
I mean, I've been on Tinder before. I feel like that's not far from
I think
accurate.
most... I have too. I haven't been for years, but...
Same, also.
Like, I think maybe not most, but I think a lot of men have at least had it at some point. Maybe not actively use it, but at least had it and tried it at some point. And I was one of them that pretty much just didn't put the effort needed into a profile that would need to be required to get any swipes.
What do you?
Matches.
But realistically, I'm curious. What is the effort that you're talking about?
Quality.
What is
photos,
the effort needed?
A number of. I mean, you're playing a game. It's the same thing as the YouTube algorithm. You're playing a game. Your first photo has to be something that catches the eye within the first like half a second, because that's usually the average amount of time it takes for someone to swipe left on you. So your first photo has to be really thought through, and your consecutive photos have to fit the bill. Quality. They can't be like no bathroom selfies as a man. Stuff like that, you know.
Don't if you're into fishing, don't hold up a fish.
Yeah. No. Well, I don't think that's a bad one. I mean, I feel like
that's one of the most common things I've ever heard about turnoffs in a Tinder profile.
Don't hold up a fish.
Don't display fishing as a hobby.
Maybe so, specifically because it's so overdone. But I think a photo or two of you doing a hobby or an activity is a good thing.
No, I would say showing your hobbies, at least to some extent, is probably it should be considered a good thing. There are just some hobbies that are not considered attractive. What did I just see the other day? I just saw a list. It was ranked by women the most attractive and least attractive hobbies. Oh, and I don't have it pulled up, so I'll have to remember it. I remember one of the top most attractive was like reading. It was like one of the most popular answers was reading. Let me look at it.
How many women did they poll?
I'm pulling it up.
Reading. I don't know about that one, man. That doesn't sound like that kind of thing polls. And there's also the problem of what women say they want and then what women act out is pretty different in a lot of examples.
still looking for this. Oh my god.
Because like I've seen that. I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen a social media video of some dude going up to some chick, holding up a microphone, saying, "Hey, what do you want in a man?" And she says, "Respect women and is nice and is kind and is handsome and stuff." You know, pretty much all of them are going to say that.
Okay, so I don't see a pool, like a total pool of surveyed women. But I'll just tell you some highlights here. So the number one most attractive hobby, according to women, was reading, followed by, interestingly, foreign languages and playing an instrument.
What
Foreign languages?
what foreign language? What do you, that's not a hobby.
I mean, a hobby could be learning foreign languages, like being bilingual or multilingual.
I guess.
That's a
I feel like
hobby
a
of sorts.
hobby is something you do leisurely for entertainment.
I would probably agree with that.
And the entertainment part isn't really there. But
Now,
I say that. And then I also love to learn stuff that doesn't seem like it would be entertaining. So,
yeah, bold of you to make judgments.
right. Yeah.
All right, so here are some of the least attractive hobbies according to women. It's a good one here. Comic books. I assume reading
Probably
and
perceive
collecting.
it as childish.
Right.
So reading, but not comic books.
Yeah, exactly. Interestingly, on this list, marijuana.
I'm super curious as to who they polled on this.
Now, the least attractive on here, the one that got the least amount of percentages, and I don't even know what this is. It's the manosphere.
The manosphere.
What is
Yeah,
a man?
that's like
what is a
I think that's
manosphere?
like red pilled stuff.
Oh, is it like like men culture?
Yeah, like
Men culture.
yeah, like alpha male stuff like that, I think.
The manosphere refers to a group of online communities that broadly promotes anti-feminism, misogyny, and hateful ideas about women, trans women, and non-binary people. So yeah, basically kind of what you're saying.
I feel like that's a little bit
I would say
I think
yeah.
I think that's a hateful description of it, but Andrew Tate, I think he's like a manosphere guy.
That's.
I think that description is a bit over the top, but I guess technically, yeah.
Well, I don't know anything about the manosphere, other than it's probably a bad thing.
Does that thing say any like demographic info or where the women were polled?
Here's what it says verbatim. Top 15. Well, okay, there's top 15 most and top 15 least. The top 15 blank attractive hobbies to women. Percentage responded, quote, attractive by activity.
So there's no information about demographic of these women. How many?
No.
Any? Okay, so
No,
we might just be reading nonsense bullshit.
This is
For all we know.
This is the most scientific study I've ever seen in my life.
Maybe.
Well, I told you that when I found out, I was like, I'm just recalling this thing I saw online from memory. I didn't say I consulted the journal of this, and they surveyed 15,000 women.
Well, I mean, I would say that's the majority of population consensus comes from, though, ain't it? Headline readers.
Exactly.
And then that gets spread.
Exactly.
And that's why we are so politically divided.
Yeah. The solution to that problem of the political divide is just, have more hobbies, except not the ones that are on this list.
Yeah.
Those are unattractive.
Don't be a comic book or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Granted, I've never been into comic books as
Me
a person, but I don't know. I could maybe understand the appeal if I got into it.
My dad's best friend was named Jim. Super big comic book guy.
Jimmy.
I think he used to either work at or run a comic book shop that, of course, something like that anywhere around here would go under because, COVID and small business. I don't think it was COVID related. I think it was long before that. Regardless, it's not a thing anymore. But he was big into comic books, and he had a wife. So
Damn.
apparently, comic books pull. So
Damn. All right, that list is invalid.
yeah, you take that
Here
list,
first.
crumble it up, and toss it because it's yeah.
Exactly.
I bet you that I mean, how do we not know that the guy who wrote this article just like went to the only female friend or friends that he had and it was just like, hey, it's about questions.
What if they all came from the same woman?
So, as in like this is just the answers of one person's preference.
Yeah.
And
then now I didn't pull. I didn't.
I
see
mean,
how
we
many,
wouldn't know, would we?
We wouldn't know. I didn't see how many people responded, but however many thousands of men viewed that post are just like, I now know the opinions of all women.
Yeah. I mean, that's a problem that I think a lot of men don't get is they see. I think this is kind of like a manosphere thing where women are like put into buckets, not realizing that they're still just like men and are people. And there's a nearly infinite spectrum of preferences and stuff. Granted, it's not like there's not tactics that work better than others.
Right.
Or not like there isn't tactics that work better than others. That's what I meant to say. To like attract women, because there obviously is. But
And I would say that happens on the other side as well. I mean, how often do you hear from women who just talk about, men are only after one thing or something like that? When I would say there are lots of men out there. I'm not going to say the majority, because I don't know. I haven't done the survey, but there are a lot of men out there that genuinely do want a deep intellectual relationship.
yeah,
And they are also branded as horny idiots.
so like the problem is men and women are
You know
all
what the
stupid.
problem is? You know what the problem is? The problem is overgeneralization in general.
In general, yeah.
To generalize the problem, overgeneralization is the problem.
To summarize the problem as a whole, overgeneralization is the problem. Yeah,
Exactly.
regardless of who it's coming from.
Exactly.
And it just gets taken and ran with. Yeah,
and,
'cause-
and we say that as two people who produced a podcast called We Know Women.
yes. Granted, if you've listened to it, you know that is a deeply sarcastic title.
Exactly. But don't tell them that. Don't tell them that. Drive them to that.
Actually,
episode.
the title is 100% sincere, and you have to go watch it all the way through to understand women.
Exactly. And if that statement offends you, go check it out because rage is entertaining.
I mean, that's what people are fueled by, ain't it? People love to be angry.
Exactly.
People love to be angry. You know, freaking Joe Rogan.
I do know that guy, not personally.
He was saying some stuff about Tulsi Gabbard.
Who is
and
that?
that's a presidential candidate.
Why have I absolutely never heard that? Granted, I don't follow politics very closely.
I'm pretty sure she is. Or at least was.
It wouldn't surprise me.
She might have pulled out by this point. I know RFK did. But regardless, Joe Rogan was saying a bunch of like good things about Tulsi Gabbard, and MSNBC took it, edited it, and made it as if he was saying all those things about Kamala Harris. And then just aired it. Like, it's so crazy. Everything you see anymore is just not real. It's
That's depressing.
Yeah, it's just so depressing. You can't watch anything anymore and not be skeptical of everything you see on the internet. It's very sad. The internet's going downhill because of AI.
And that's why we took the opportunity to get in on the internet
That's
at the
right.
time we did.
It's never been a more screwed up, difficult place. So now's the perfect time
Exactly.
to start a podcast. It's past 8:00, and I need to stop this podcast right now.
Your bedtime is upon us, isn't it?
Yeah, this needs to end, and we need to stop.
Well, let's end it then.
Thank you very much for listening and/or watching. And I'm gonna go to bed soon, and you're gonna do, I don't know, fucking fiddle your cock or something. I bet you.
I'll let you know if I start doing that.
Okay, I'll expect a text maybe or not. Goodbye, everybody.